Friends beyond the binary, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and everybody out there wondering, wondering, or everybody out there, wherever you are. I don't know. I thought I'd think of something more interesting, but I guess I didn't. It's time for Sleep With Me, the podcast that's here to keep you company and take your mind off stuff so that you could fall asleep, to be a friend in the deep, dark night, to cut through that loneliness, or to just take your mind off of whatever's keeping you awake. Even if you don't feel lonely, I mean, that's only because that's one of the things that comes up a lot with the listeners, or how I felt, and even in a house full of people when I couldn't sleep. And this show is here to be your companion in the deep, dark night, whether you're listening to me or not. And really because you deserve a good night's sleep. You deserve a place you could get some rest. I hope this show can provide it. It is very different. It does take a few tries of listening to get used to it and realize, oh, this podcast is different and strange. But it's here to be my friend. It never really makes a whole lot of sense, but it kind of just barely never makes sense. So I'm glad you're here. What we got coming up is support. That's how we get to put out the show for free. If you're looking for ad-free experience, that's also available. But that enables us to reach the widest number of people possible that need the show and enjoy the show. Then there'll be a long meandering intro, which is separate from the support. It's meant to ease you into bedtime, to kind of give you a little bit more, to take your mind off stuff and put you at ease and I don't know, be part of your bedtime routine or your wind down routine. So don't miss out on that part. It's where you get to know the show and you say, oh, okay. And like you eventually could start skipping around, but at first just give the intro a try. Give the show a few tries, see how it goes. Then there's, our story tonight, I already forgot what the story was going to be. I remember I recorded it 2 days ago, and now I have no idea what it was about. I had a bunch of research in front of me. I remember that. So I guess I'll be working off some kind of research or going through something, but I really have no idea what that's. It's just how my mind works, but a bedtime story nonetheless, meant to ease you into bedtime. So that's it. I'm so glad you're here. Thanks for coming by. And if you're listening on YouTube, make sure to subscribe to the show, like this episode, so I can keep putting these out directly on YouTube, because we're trying something new out. Please subscribe and like the show right now as you're right before you get ready to drift off. And that'll make it possible for us to keep putting the shows out in this new style we're trying. Hey, are you up all night, tossing, turning, mind racing, trouble getting to sleep, trouble staying asleep? Well, welcome. This is Sleep With Me, the podcast that puts you to sleep. We do it with a bedtime story. All you need to do is get in bed, turn out the lights, and press play. I'm going to do the rest. What I'm going to attempt to do is create a safe place where you could set aside whatever is keeping you awake, whether it's thoughts that you're thinking about, like thoughts you think thoughts you're thinking about the past, the present, the future. So just, thoughts on your mind or in your mind, around your mind, thoughts. I got thoughts. I have them. Feelings. Oh boy. Yesterday was a day of feeling for me. And it came with thoughts and physical sensations, but I had a lot of feelings, or only one, like I had a lot of, I guess I more had physical sensations related to my feelings, which were related to my thoughts. So, but if anything's coming up for you emotionally, and then sometimes I have thoughts about feelings and feelings about thoughts, and then I have feelings about those feelings and thoughts, and I don't know if you've ever been in that cycle before. You say, how come there isn't one like that? Like there's cycling, right? Or whatever. What do they call it? Cycling. There's the French du jour or whatever. Tour de France. the French of the day. It's the Tour de France. There's a new documentary docu show out. So it's just been on my mind. Obviously, not so much that I actually know the name of when it's, I don't even know when it is. I think it's around sometime when I'm putting out an episode. Maybe not this one. I know my neighbor follows it because sometimes I'll come home and but anyway. Like, how come they, for thought, the cycle of thoughts and feelings that it is feeding itself and physical sensations, but it could be other physical sensations that are keeping you up, changes in time, temperature, routine. You could have something coming up. You could be going through something, going somewhere, having someone come to visit, changes in work schedule. Whatever it is, the reason I go through all that stuff is to let you know you're not alone. And maybe you're dealing with something else. Maybe it's something even I haven't been through myself. But I can tell you that there's someone out there listening right now who's probably been through what you're going through or something similar. And there's even more people, and maybe even me, that can relate to how it feels. And I know this is digital and pseudo or whatever, but it's true that we know how it feels. And it's not easy. I mean, that's why I could talk about it being lonely. And I talk about the deep, dark night because it's not easy, right? That's why I make the show, is because I've been there and I still go there, ideally just to visit now. But I've lived there in the deep, dark night. So that's one of the reasons I make the show. The other reason is you deserve a good night's sleep. Like, you deserve a bedtime you could feel neutral about or feel good about and not have to dread, a bedtime you could look forward to even. And I hope this show can provide that. What I'll do is I'll send my voice across the deep, dark night. I'll use lulling, soothing, creaky, dulcet tones and pointless meanders, which means my voice is not traditionally soothing, but it's there. So it's there to keep you company and take your mind off of stuff. And this show does take some getting used to at first. If you got here and you're skeptical, you're doubtful, you're frustrated, you're fed up, you're tired, I understand. I've been there. And if you're not sure about this show, that's how most people get here. The most common review I have is, hey, it took 2 or 3 tries to get used to the show. Like, the most common messages I hear, the ones that are constructive are, hey, it took me a while to get used to the show, but now I'm glad it worked for me. And I had no idea I was looking for something like this, but I definitely was. 2, the second thing that I hear from people is, this is what I'm dealing with. This is what I've been through. And I'm glad I found something like this. This is my story. But commonly it takes a couple tries to get used to the show. It is very different. The third biggest piece, it's probably not the third biggest, unfortunately, but I hear from a lot of people who this show just won't ever work for. And, or it's they've changed their opinion about the show. But a lot of people get here and it doesn't work for them. It's not their cup of tea. And maybe you're not even a place where you say, I already know, I don't need to give it 2 or 3 tries. I understand. I even have a website for it. And believe me, I heard from a lot of people. I know. I already knew even before I made the pod. That's why it took me so long to make the podcast. I knew I'm not everybody's cup of tea. And Ted Lasso's a perfectly nice character. Ted Lasso a cup of tea is not Ted Lasso's cup of tea. I don't know if they did that a bit like that on there, but it's true. So I have a website set up, sleepwithmepodcast.com/no thank you. And it's there with other sleep podcasts and other sleepy stuff for you to check out. So check it out and see. And see if it works, see if it's helpful. So that's structure. Other stuff that throws people off. This is a podcast you don't really listen to either. So that's one of the things when you say it takes 2 or 3 tries. It's kind of a podcast you almost passive. It's not quite passive listening. but it's not active listening. It's kind of like something that's in the background that you could kind of pay attention to. And for a lot of us, it's not immediately relatable, but you say, oh, yeah, that's what I do when I run. I listen to podcasts, but I'm only kind of listening because I'm also thinking and running. Or I work with maybe some like YouTube or something else on in the background. Or I cook while kind of listening to something else. And sometimes you feel, oh, well, I should be listening to this, or I have to rewind it because I didn't know what they're talking about, or I have to pause it. With Sleep With Me, it's kind of its purpose. You don't really need to listen to me. You could, or you could re-listen at another point. But I'm here to be your background noise. And also, the strange thing about the show is there's no pressure to fall asleep. I'm here for over an hour to keep you company and take your mind off of stuff. So, yeah, it's like there's no pressure to fall asleep. There's people that can't sleep, and I'm here for them. As much as I'm here for you when you fall asleep, I'm here for the people who can't sleep or who are having a tough day and need a break and use the podcast for relief in that sense. I'm here to the very end, but the episodes are over an hour, so you say, oh, I got plenty of time. I don't have to think about falling asleep. I'll just barely listen to this gentleman who's kind of going on and on about nothing. Because I'm here to be your boar friend, your boar bae, your boar sib, your boar burr, your neighbor, your boar bee, your boar bestie, your boar bruh, whatever. Like, I'm here to be your friend in the deep dark night, to keep you company, but a friend you don't have to entertain or listen to. So those are a couple things. The other thing that throws people off is the structure of the show. The structure of the show is very intentional, and it is adjustable. But the two biggest adjustments I'll talk about maybe in a second. So the show starts off with a greeting. Friends beyond the binary, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. And then I probably say something that I attempt to be witty. So you say, okay, feel seen and welcomed in. I see that he's trying to be witty and falling short of it a little bit. That's cool. I relate to that. Or, oh, it's a little bit silly. Okay. So that's what the greeting does. Then there's support, so the show can come out free. Because there's a lot of people that say, hey, I really benefit from this free podcast. Then there's a long meandering intro, which is separate from the support. And what that intro does is it's there to kind of introduce people to the podcast. But the reason it goes on and on and on for 10, 11, 12, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15 minutes even is so that it can ease you into bedtime. The intro is a transition between whatever you were doing before you started getting ready for bed and the bedtime story. It's like a twilight period. And you can use that twilight period however you want. There's 2% of people that skip the intro. There's probably 2 or 3% of people that fall asleep right away. And oh boy, are we mostly somewhat happy for them. But for most listeners, they're doing some other activity, whether it's getting ready for bed. I mean, this is one podcast you can listen to while brushing your teeth with an electric toothbrush because you're not going to miss anything. But a lot of listeners over the years, as this show becomes a regular part of your routine, maybe you're doing some other chill activity, stretching, drawing, coloring, like whatever it is. That's part of like the easing you into bedtime. And let's see, what else says, I'm drawing a blank now. For some reason, my mind just went total. Oh, easing you at bedtime. I was thinking about my own bedtime routine. That's why. But there's people that are listening while they're in bed, getting comfortable, and they're unwinding that way. So that's why the intro goes on and on and on. The two ways that people adjust, other than the people that are falling asleep or skip the intro. There's like people that listen to story-only episodes on Apple Podcasts or Patreon, but there's also a large number of people on Patreon that listen to all intro episodes exclusively because they get extras of those every single month. So it's just interesting, like as you become a regular listener, you'll probably adjust how you listen. But for most people, it's about having the intro ease you into bedtime, then the story. But there's a lot of different ways to listen. So just kind of see you just see how it goes. Then there'll be, after the intro, there's support, and then there'll be our bedtime story, which I already recorded 2 days ago, but I have no idea what it was about. So I don't know. And then, I wish I knew. And then, there'll be thank yous at the end, but I'm so glad I'm here. I'm so glad I get to be here to keep you company and try to put you to sleep because, like I said, I've been there. I know how it is. And I really appreciate you coming by. I work really hard. I yearn and I strive. I really hope I can help you fall asleep. And these are the ways I get to do it for you for free twice a week. Hey, it's me. I'm sending, I really missed us cooking together and shopping together. And I've been trying to find a way to do it again. And I just came up with this idea where maybe, we could do it. I know we're not in the same room and you're just listening to this right now. And I miss, being together and cooking and shopping. So I thought I'd try to do it, find a way to do it in a new way that might work. And so I'm going to take you with me. And we'll go shopping. So I just went, because I was thinking of you. Well, I was just shopping, to be honest. And maybe it was that I was not at my normal TJ's. But I had brought my daughter to rehearsal. And then I said, well, there's a TJ's near there. I might as well go there on my way home. Get my grocery shopping done early for the weekend. And originally I was like, I could get lunch across the street, but then I wasn't hungry. It was, it was on lunch. It wasn't exactly lunchtime. But I thought we could go through this shopping list. It will be, I want to go through the list in order because otherwise I'll forget. But we'll probably do a lot of backtracking. But yeah, let's go to TJ's together. Then we'll talk about what I'm going to prep, and then maybe I'll come back and we'll talk about, hey, what do we like? So this might be kind of a 2-part episode or a front half and a back half episode. But I can tell you the one thing, normally I go into the store, I start in the produce, flowers, and that thing. And that's what I did this time without making a purchase. I looked at the plants, and even though there was some sort of palm that said it thrives on not paying attention, as long as it's not by a cool window, and so, or a cool door or window. So that kind of, I live in the Bay Area, but I also don't need any more plants. But I almost bought that anyway because it was so cute. They were so cute, these palms, something palm. It looked like a bit like a web-based being plant. It was so cute, but then it had these it had bulbs. Maybe it was growing out of the bulbs, but they were in dirt or soil. I guess they call it soil, not dirt. Then they had lucky bamboo and succulents, but I held off. I said, do we really need any plants? But normally I head to the right, but right now, because we're just going by my actual, what do they call this? Sale transaction is what they call it. We're going to start at the sparkling water, and we're going to get an 8-pack of pineapple sparkling water. And I can already tell you, this is a good one. This is one that you don't always go to when you see it. And I will recommend, I'll say Trader Joe's or Waterloo are the 2 pineapple ones I really enjoy. Ice cold, sparkling, not like drinking pineapple juice, but it is a nice little flavor. And so we'll grab one of those. We'll be back. Well, we could get the other sparkling waters now. It's funny because we just re-released an episode where I was talking about Gerolsteiner. I don't know how you say it. Gerolsteiner sparkling water. And that re-release reminded me, I haven't had that in a long time. So maybe I should pick it. Like, this was not this time. Like 2 trips ago, I started buying it again, but only 2 at a time. And that's a sparkling mineral water. I think it's natural bubbles even. And it comes in a glass bottle. And I love drinking from the glass bottle. Makes me feel like, doesn't make me feel like Gordon Gekko. but it makes me feel, even though it doesn't have anything to do with that era, I just picture people in those movies drinking from bottles. And I don't know, really nice flavor and can get really cold. And I don't know, it's just nice. The other waters we're going to get, we got the blueberry lemonade, which is, I'll be honest with you, I'm not, like, I don't have, I always buy it because it's seasonal, and I like the idea of blueberry lemonade. I like blueberries, I like lemonade. I mean, this is only sparkling water, so it's just a flavor. But it's not a flavor that sticks with me, but I must enjoy it on some level because I keep buying it. Like I only buy an 8-pack. And, you know, Trader Joe's got to this 8-pack point, and my full grocery store is pretty much 8-packs. And I say, what do you really, I mean, I get Trader Joe's, they have limited shelf space, so I can and they never had 12-packs, so it's not like they reverted. They did have 6-packs, now they have 8-packs, and usually they only had bottles of sparkling water, and they moved to cans probably since the last time we did one of these shows, shopping and eating together. But, this 8-pack thing, this is one of these great things that they like it. I just don't like it. I mean, I don't know what else to say. And I feel like I don't know. So I don't know. But so I got that, and then I also got watermelon lemonade. Now, I'll be honest. There's another watermelon something. I think it's watermelon lime. I don't know which company that one is. Maybe, that I've had that I really enjoy. So maybe I enjoy this one. I don't know. This is the first time I remember buying it. And then we have something from the dairy. I know not everybody has dairy, but I do. And that's organic grass-fed milk. And I've been buying this one when this is pretty much the only, sometimes they have a 2% in a whole. And I read stuff and I say, well, I don't know. But I say, well, I don't drink that much milk. Maybe I have night milk, or lately I've been more consistent about that. And this is another thing we could make together, but because Trader Joe's doesn't sell it anymore. But I probably have 4 or 5 cups of milk a week, and I don't know, I just like this one. Plus it's like the price comparatively to other stores, I'm happy with. So there's that. Oh, then this one was new at Trader Joe's, but it was something I actually needed. And so they had a large box of Diamond kosher salt. And, I've been more consistent with my salt game, kind of by accident. I always have had a container of sea salt, like finely ground, that I used I don't have iodized salt anymore that I know of. Not that I'm against it or anything. I just say, well, if this is sea salt, maybe it's just marketing. Even generic sea salt, I say, holy cow, that's from the sea. So probably just is marketing. And then I have pink Himalayan salt that I got at TJ Maxx, like a big bag of it. And I've taken a bath with this salt before. But this wasn't a bath level bag. This was finely ground. So then I've been using that in recipes, like pinches of that. So I either use the sea salt or that. And then I have Malden salt, I think it's called, which is like a larger crystallized salt. But I didn't have kosher salt. So I have like different salt options for different dishes, because you want the kosher salt. For things like a steak is one thing, or other things where it's just not as salty, it's more flaky. And I have made that mistake before. I did make a big mistake, be honest with you. I made my own. I decided I wanted some kind of Cajun black into chicken and fish. And so I looked up recipes for those, how to make my own spice. But I didn't have kosher salt, which was what was called for. And in its place, I used the exact same amount of Himalayan salt, finely ground, and it was way too salty. But I did end up diluting, like eventually I used some of it, found out it was too salty, and then I used enough that in the container I was able to dilute it. Funny enough, the containers I use are from a former sponsor that was made something to make your hair healthier. And I still actually like get that, but it's like, I get it in a bag now instead of a like it would come in a, glass, jar. And I've kept most of those glass jars and used them for spices, night milk, other things. So that was a big box of, Diamond Kosher salts. Okay, next, so that was in the new section, right? And we'll be back to this new section soon. Next up was one new and one semi-new. And both these were on my, one has been on my purchase list, but I have said no the last time, was a horchata ice cream, which I have not tried. So I'm looking forward to trying it and telling you how it is. But then just yesterday, I saw a review of s'mores ice cream. Think you can have s'mores of ice cream? But the person that was reviewing it, they said, hey, one, it doesn't exactly taste like s'mores, which to me is a good thing. It was that it's more of a marshmallow. It doesn't have any chunks. It's a smooth ice cream, she pointed out, which is important to me because, I don't know, sometimes the chunky ice creams, they lose their focus. So I'm looking forward to that one, however it tastes. Then I got a bag of lemons, and I got the bag of lemons twofold, and I also got 2 limes. I don't know, that'll come up on the list, I guess. And the 2 limes, so lemons I got for 2 things. One, a general idea of that I'm going to make some sort of dish that's going to need lemon, probably some sort of meatball that we're going to grill and have in a pita. And I said I probably could use a lemon on there. And then also lemonade. It's been a little while since I've made lemonade. And I will actually take these lemons and make lemonade. And I also got 2 limes just in case. But then if I go to make the lemonade and I haven't used the limes, I'll also juice the limes and kind of make a lemon limeade. But only 2 limes, so it'll just be like a hint of lime. You know, also what would be good is the Gerolsteiner with the lime slice in there. Okay, now this one I've never bought before. Another strongly on social media and clickbait. This is a strongly reviewed. Like the algorithms have been pointing me towards this, and I have not got it because I always forget or it's not there. So it was actually on my list. When I say that it wasn't actually on my list. So it was like a strongly on my mental list, but I don't think, so I guess I'm not being totally clear. I got 2 cans of it, which I did debate back and forth. Do I really need 2 cans? Well, what if you like, well, you couldn't find it at the other place. Why you always got to get 2 cans of everything? Well, I don't know. This is something that's good. It's probably going to be good, but you don't know. Yeah, but what if I go to my Trader Joe's? I can't, what if it is good and then I can't find it ever again? So I didn't think I'd ever have FOMO for chickpeas with cumin and parsley, but today is what my experience was. And I really am looking forward to this because I think, okay, this chickpea with cumin and parsley, a lot of ways we could use it in some sort of chickpea type salad, even if it doesn't have, with just some chopped up peppers and onions maybe. And it already has the oil and the stuff in there. So we really just have to like put it in a bowl with stuff and mix it up. Or with just couscous in this. And talk about a superfood. I have already. I didn't even buy any more Trader Joe's whole wheat couscous. Used to be a staple in my life, maybe even when we were cooking together. And it was too much of a staple when my daughter started to loathe it. But that was when she was like a little kid. So I just stopped buying it because she would refuse to eat it. I'd say, well, it's just the pasta, but it's whole wheat. It's really, or whole grain. So I think it'll be good with couscous too. And also the fact that it has oil and seasonings means we could just lightly season the couscous. And then, I don't know, because one of the issues with couscous is it can have this strange dryness, and I think that's why she didn't like it. But then even if you put oil or some sort of butter, but then you could also put you could cook some chicken thigh or chicken breast or chicken tender, or grill it, chop it up, and mix it with this, and then put that on a pita. Not my primary dinner idea, but I think that would be good. I think I have some chicken in the freezer, but I'm not positive. But that could be a dinner coming up because I have enough pita for 2 dinners, I think, if it holds. I didn't get the Trader Joe's pitas, but Trader Joe's does have a couple different good flatbread options. You know, we've talked about it in the past before. They have a whole wheat lavash, which is really good. They do have a non-whole wheat lavash that I don't have experience with. Then they also have a couple different Mediterranean flatbreads, which are really tasty. I don't know if they have a whole grain or whole wheat option there, but those things are really spongy and really delicious. Then they have, a whole wheat pita and a non-whole wheat pita. And their whole wheat pita is kind of like your standard grocery store one. It's not exactly the freshest or it'll do the job. But I found this one pita that is whole wheat. It's a little bit flashier, a little bit fluffier. And, I only occasionally get it because it is a little bit more spendy. It's at my regular grocery store sometimes. So I'm going to use that one. So I think, maybe we'll have that. Chickpea with cumin, parsley. We'll get some chicken going. And then also in the Trader Joe's new section was peanut butter crispy rice treats. And normally store-bought rice treats. Well, here's the thing with rice treats. Kind of gave up on them. You got the store-bought ones. I don't mean eating them. Okay, hold on. Hold the phone. I know you're laughing and saying, who are you? No, I haven't stopped eating them. I did stop attempting to make them, and maybe it's just that they're better when somebody gives them to you and there's only a limited amount. Not that I would eat a lot of it, but I never found satisfaction with my own rice treats. And even when I try, sometimes I would try to fancy them up. Then I tried making plain ones, tried different recipes. And I just never found, like I said, well, it's better when someone gives them to you. And the store-bought ones just aren't the same. But I don't know, this I guess was an impulse. I said, well, what did Trader Joe's, how does Trader Joe's compare? Let me try it. And it has peanut butter. Looks like a peanut butter chocolate topping or something. I said, well, let's give it a try. Impulse, but not as impulsive as something coming up. Then this was a necessity, tea tree tingle shampoo. We've gone through shampoo at my house. I'm not a shampoo. It used to be Suave, Balsam, and something. That was the only shampoo I used most of my life. It was the shampoo we had at home as a kid. Then when I went to college or whatever, if I was buying a shampoo, that was what I bought just because, I don't know, I just remembered having it. And I said, well, this smells decent, and it's 99 cents for how much Suave is. I didn't even know Suave was but I've always had a thing. I don't even know what it's called, balsam and something, not cedar and balsam, though. I know I talked about it to you years ago. And then at some point I said, this tea tree one, I like it because it's minty. It's got a little tingle to it. And they have a conditioner, but it wasn't either way. But usually I just say, okay, that's a shampoo I'll use. If I ran out, I'd use hotel shampoos if I wasn't building hygiene kits. Then at some point, we used, there's something came up with my daughter's hair and we were using Aveeno, apple cider, something or other. and I fell in love with that shampoo. The problem was, couldn't, like, it was something I have to go searching for. Then for a little while on the internet, that internet place where you just subscribe and they send it to you once a month. I had it on there, so we'd regularly get a delivery of it. Then I'd change it every 2 months, but then at some point that didn't work anymore. So we went back to Tea Tree and Tingle, and then I found my daughter said, well, actually, I like this shampoo a lot. So that's the shampoo I have. Now, sometimes, and I didn't buy it this time, they do have, because my daughter won't use it, but I will. They have a shampoo bar. And I think maybe this was the last time we talked. It actually caused an ongoing conversation with someone at Trader Joe's to where I said, did I just hold a conversation about shampoo bar with someone that I could be attracted to but didn't have a crush on? Like, did I just inadvertently connect with someone over? And then I said, I better get out of here and get to my car and get home and distract myself with work or something, which I did. Don't worry, I did that. But that person, this was years ago, said, oh, I use this too. And I said, oh, yeah, like I really like, maybe it was the first time I was buying it. I said, how do you even use this shampoo? Maybe that's what it was. She got a kick out of it. I said, how do you even shampoo your hair with a bar? And I don't know. But since then, I will buy this occasionally. The only problem is if you have a guest at your house or something, or the fact that my daughter doesn't use it, you could get a shampoo bar confusion. I don't know why that would bother me, but I said, well, if I have someone visiting me and they use that for their body, but I guess that's fine. I don't know. So I don't know why I stopped buying. I almost bought it today, but I said no. We're getting shampoo. Okay, then we got pizza sauce. Now, be honest, this is not a high flyer. Usually I buy their creamy vodka sauce and use it on pizza. But as we get further in this list, I'm going to give you a new tip that I've been using. And so this pizza sauce this pizza sauce will do just fine. It does need some help, which now I have a big help for it. But yeah, I say I'm not like, this is not something I recommend. It's something you could plus, but if you're going to buy something, I don't know why I buy it. I'll be honest with you. I guess I'm confused as you are. Why not just buy the vodka pasta sauce that has a little cream in there? And I don't know. I just bought it. It's just one of those relationships I don't understand. You're right. Okay, next up is a new purchase, again, that the algorithms and the influencers have been on me, at least not personally, but in a general way, whatever my psychographic is. They've algorithmically told me for a long time now to get this cracked olive salad. Even the flyers have told me, and I haven't got it. But again, it was on my mental list with this cumin and chickpeas. And I finally cracked and got the cracked olive salad. It was only actually the fact that I was getting the chickpeas that reminded me to look. And then I saw it. I said, oh, okay, it's a smaller jar than I imagined. And it's a bunch of vegetables and olives in like oil and vinegar. And I have a plan. I have a distinct plan for it. For lunch or for a salad, another salad. And again, this is new territory for me. So exciting times. So that's why we should get back together and review this stuff. Okay. Next up though is, this garlic spread. And this one was not a connection, but it was something I connected with, I guess, a human connection, not an attraction-based connection, but a useful connection with Trader Joe's employee, where I was actually, I guess I'm growing, where I was actually interacting with them without any motivation other than wouldn't call it the joy of interaction, but what happened was, this was one time I was checking out and I said, we were just chatting and I said, well, what do you like, what are you recommending? Like, what are you liking? And she said, well, we just had this, so I got to tell you, like, because it was slow at the store. And she said, we had this, I'm not a big believer in frozen pizza, but there's this non-tomato frozen pizza or sauceless pizza or something, or I don't know, some sort of frozen pizza-like thing. And maybe it didn't have cheese on it or something, or sauce, I don't remember. But she said, we had that and we put this garlic spread on it. And then maybe they put cheese on it, I don't know. And we had that, and it was a strong, she was saying strong recommend. And so I put this in my mental queue, the garlic spread, and then that pizza. I did recreate that pizza. I think I put too much garlic spread on there. But then I found this garlic spread to be so versatile. Now, it doesn't come in a jar, so it is perishable. I don't know what the perishability of it is, but this stuff is it's not buttery, but it's similar to what you'd have on garlic bread, maybe with the butter. Haven't tried it to make garlic bread, but I will. But like as a dip with pretzel chips or something like that, it's unbelievable. And then, this is just a recent discovery, and paired with it, unfortunately, middling Trader Joe's pizza sauce. So here's what we did, and this was just last night. So I had already made my pizza crust. I still have returned to Roberta's pizza crust from a recipe I pay for through the NYT. So you could do that or look up your own pizza dough. Now I bake it and make two crusts and use one, and then a week or two I freeze the other one. That's just my method. So this was a pre-made frozen but homemade pizza crust. So first what I did was spread a little bit of this garlic spread on the crust. And even the amount I put was a little bit too much, but I love garlic, so it wasn't too much for me. But it did change the flavor of the pizza into something less pizza-like. So next time I'm going to go even thinner, just to see if I can get it into a pizza flavor instead of like a specialty pizza flavor. Then I put the pizza sauce on, and they kind of meld together, and then I construct the rest of my pizza. But we'll have to do a pizza episode another time. But that's just so I'll stop there. So maybe we could do if this gets a response, we'll do a pizza episode. But that garlic spread. Then I got a can of organic fire roasted tomatoes because I'm just out of those. And those are very versatile. But it did remind me that I said at some point I'm going to make kind of like a tomato-based rice with the riced cauliflower. So I'm going to try that at some point, but not this time because I didn't buy any riced cauliflower. Okay, what do we got next? Oh, holy cow. This is a strong buy. Now, especially if you have kids that like ramen, you have kids that like noodles, and for grilling season, I would say it's a strong buy. If you grill a lot of chicken or rotisserie chicken, would go great with these squiggly noodles. And they've come up in the Fearless Flyer before. These noodles are delicious. They come with their own kind of soy and I think ginger sauce. They're easy to prepare. Now, they're not whole grain, but for a quick lunch, the noodles by themselves, I'm sure you could throw some tuna or something in there too. But with some chicken or maybe, I don't know, bean or something, they're delicious. But they're like really easy, good for a really quick, easy meal that you would have ramen. Like a similar preparation of ramen, but a little bit different flavor. And in some sense, the noodles are just much, they're like different than ramen, but they're really delicious. So just a strong recommend. Now, this was a new one, and this, again, is what I'm going to, steamed lentils. I know I saw this in one of the Fearless Flyers, and I said, I should try those. So they're cooked refrigerated lentils, already prepared, and here's my plan, to take either all of the lentils, or 17.6 ounces according to this, And I'm either going to take all of the lentils or half of the lentils and combine them with the entire jar of cracked olive salad and eat that as a lunch or as a side. Just toss those two together and then see how it tastes. So I'll review it for you and say, well, it could use something else or whatever. But I really think like the lentils have, they're high in fiber and protein. And so you say, okay, there's two coverages. And then the cracked olive salad, I'm hoping will be high in flavor. And it'll have a little bit of fats and vinegar and salt and then vegetables to kind of make it flavorful. But we'll see. I haven't found a way to consume lentils on a regular basis that I've been happy with. Okay, now this next one, and you'll call me, you'll say, Scoots, they have you. And I'd say, okay, well, here's the thing. Okay, so they have these bags of what they call ready veggies or something that says are ready veggies. And it's a bag, and for me, it's 2 servings, and it is like leftover vegetables, whatever. Like, so it's usually broccoli, carrots, Brussels sprouts, different slaws like broccoli, like when they make their coleslaw, this is what's left over, you know. And someone had the pea pods. So it's just a general amount of leftover vegetables. I mean, they don't say that, but come on. I know I'm not, it's the same as baby carrots. But at the same time, this is a super easy way to prepare. And you're getting 4 or 5 vegetables because all you do is you heat up some olive oil. I toss half the bag in there. Season it with some seasonings, maybe some kosher salt. But usually I'll use different seasoning and then salt them. And then you put a little water in and you steam it. It does cook at different levels because you obviously have the pea pods and the carrots and maybe some thicker Brussels sprouts. But it's just a really easy way to get a diverse amount of veggies. Because sometimes, I don't know, I've gotten to the point in my life where I'm like, well, just broccoli on its own. I don't know, man. And, maybe I need to grow up and get back to that, but I don't know. So that was that one. Oh boy, I missed this one though. Whipped cream, can of whipped cream. Not exactly a bargain, I don't think, compared to the store, like a grocery store. But that with those ice cream purchases, I almost had ice cream last night, but I said, I don't have whipped cream. And if I'm going to have a sundae, to me, whipped cream is a part of a sundae. You have ice cream. You have a topping, you have whipped cream and sprinkles. Like those are my necessities for an ideal sundae. And the topping part doesn't matter because that's one thing that kind of lives in your fridge forever, whatever caramel or chocolate sauce or whatever. And sprinkles, I bought a large, not a large tub of sprinkles, but like a tub that's like about the size of your hand. I just saw it at the grocery store. I said, well, that would be useful. That's enough sprinkles because usually sprinkles just come in some sort of, and I said, it's got a top. It's actually easy to put my fingers in and sprinkle it on, so sprinkle the sprinkles. So I had everything. I have whipping cream in my fridge. And I said, even last night, I said, okay, let me put a metal bowl in the fridge or the freezer and get ready to make some whipped cream. But then we were watching a movie and I said, okay. And then I said, let me just have something else for dessert because it was Friday night, pizza and movie night. Okay. Well, what do we got? What other we got? Persian cucumbers. These are small cukes. These again are going to come in for one of our meals, that we'll talk about in a minute or two. But yeah, I'm looking forward to that. So some not Cuban cucumbers. And these are good. Like now they do not last. I'm sure we've discussed this before. They have organic and inorganic, they're not inorganic though, but, they're really good by themselves. You could just eat it as a snack, and you say, okay, I got 2 cucumbers as a veggie, packing it in a lunch, but they go bad really fast. So these, I don't believe, I can't rely on them lasting me. Today's Saturday, like through next Saturday. I should use them this week. And I plan on it. I plan on chopping them, or either slicing them or dicing them, eating a couple of them as part of a meal that we'll get to eventually. Not everything we bought here at Trader Joe's. Then carrots, baby carrots of many colors. And again, this is just like regular baby carrots, but you got a purple, you get a couple different colors, which they say get some bright colors in your foods, right? And these are versatile as well. I mean, I don't do a lot of roasting of carrots, but I could. But these ones you could chop up and use as a topping on a salad, or you just eat them by themselves, and you're getting some different rainbow colors, which is good for your insides. Now, it's a smaller bag, so I don't necessarily use it as a TREAT for COA, but, yeah. Okay, this next one was in the new section. This was unplanned, slightly debated, and gave me an opportunity to face my face of fear. And I don't know if this is a recipe we've discussed, but so we'll talk about the cluster, then we'll talk about facing my fears, which I know is a little bit, but this is a small thing, and it's just a practice I've been trying imperfectly. And I'm just trying. I mean, really, you probably know. You say you are trying. So this is, it's called chocolate snacky clusters. Now, just a month ago, I bought s'mores clusters, and they also, like the person who reviewed the ice cream, I did not hear a review of these, but the algorithms did tell me about it. And I said, I don't know if I'm I'm not into s'mores. But I said, s'more clusters I'm willing to try, and it did not taste like s'mores to me, but the s'mores clusters were very good, so good, in fact. And, I didn't complete the bag, but I said, probably shouldn't buy these again. And probably, even I offered them to my daughter, and she said, nah, I'm not in the mood for s'mores clusters. And I know there's s'mores people out there, and I know we've talked about this. I don't know where the s'mores flavoring craze came from, because I've never had a s'more in the wild that has blown my mind. And then even fancy restaurants have tried it. And they say, well, can't you come up with something better? Now, I have seen on the internet some ideas, and I can't even remember what it was, but I said, okay, well, now you're talking. That's better than a s'more. Maybe it's fudge stripes and marshmallows. I mean, that I could get behind. And that maybe I'll try this summer. But, so again, you see a lot of s'mores flavored things, or at least I do, or the algorithms and the clickbait show me that, and the influencers. But, these s'more clusters, they're just good. They're a little too indulgent. That's why I had never repurchased them. But it's like a chocolate with marshmallow and a little bit of graham cracker. And maybe that's where they got it right. Is the problem with s'mores a lot of times. One is eating it. Two is cooking the marshmallow. But three is that the balance of a s'more. I mean, I guess the whole purpose of the s'more is it's easy if you were camping somewhere to make a dessert that's participatory, social. So you'd say, okay, what are the pros of the s'mores? I didn't think we'd get into this, but s'mores pros, non-perishable for the most part. I guess you could fit them in a backpack, but maybe but you could easily, for car camping, unbelievably easy. For backpacking, maybe take some prep or, spread around people, easy. Social, check. Participatory, check. Fun, I'd say yes. Covers nostalgia, evokes nostalgia. Okay, check. Maybe that's where you get into this. Oh boy, now we're in a danger area, because that's probably the most important, powerful thing is the the nostalgia factor. I mean, not even in a good way. You say, well, maybe you're nostalgic, but okay, I'm not a criticize. I mean, I guess I am. I'm just expressing my opinion about s'mores. So, okay, those are all positives. Easy, you check. Messy, check, but you're outdoor. Ideally, you're consuming them outdoors. And tough to say I object to these flavors. Now, I have tried using cinnamon graham crackers, and that was not successful. Like, I tried it years ago. I said, this will change my relationship with s'mores. It didn't. And so I'd say the main con for me, and actually comparing it to these s'more clusters, one is it's not the flavor of the, I mean, it's just had, the s'more cluster, what it achieved was the correct, it was easy, it wasn't messy, but it had the better balance of the chocolate, the marshmallow, and the graham cracker on a traditional s'more are almost equal in the, I mean, I guess you have a little bit more. You have two pieces of graham cracker to one piece of chocolate and one marshmallow. And that's just too much graham cracker. I mean, especially these graham crackers that are designed to last, forever. And maybe even too much chocolate. And you may be saying, Scooch, you've been doing them wrong. And I'd say, maybe you're right. But I would say for me, thinking about 2 fudge stripes and a marshmallow, that might seem better to me. I guess maybe I saw that. Maybe that was what the algorithm showed. It did show me something. And I thought it was fudge stripes or something else where I said, okay, now that I could get behind. What else could it have been? I think that must have been what it was. And I said, okay, well, and then you don't have to worry about the chocolate. And I mean, come on, you'd say, well, the fudge on fudge strip. I say, compared to the chocolate that most people use for a chocolate bar, that's also just not my favorite flavor of chocolate. And I think people would say technically that's also not chocolate, even though it's called the famous named chocolate bar. And I think I've tried subbing in other chocolates and other things. So I don't know. It's me. It's not. But so we'll get back also on this fudge stripe thing later this summer. Maybe try that out. So that was that was a whole tangent to go back to these snacky clusters. Okay, so I said, okay, there's a cluster. I said, don't look, Scoots, keep moving. You don't need them. And I said, well, but let me just look because and I had such a positive experience with those s'more clusters. And then I looked and it had it was like snacks enrobed in chocolate, like peanut butter, potato chips. To be honest, I don't even know what else. Maybe a pretzel and maybe something else. Oh, corn chip and a pretzel and a potato chips and chocolate, maybe something else. And I said, well, that's weird. And then I said to myself, I guess this one might be this was a bit of FOMO, but it was also like corn chip. That could be good or not good. And I said, this one might be worth a try. Okay, so I said, okay, I'll buy it. But it was and I went back and forth. Then I went around the grocery store. So now to facing my fears, I have an assignment every day, which is just practice of something I'm not good at and that I've avoided my whole life and has never found natural to me, which is making some nice, quick small talk with a stranger and initiating that small talk. With no ulterior motive other than to be to connect with another human being. Other than that it's practice and I don't want to do it. And for some reason, and I know maybe you relate to this, but maybe you say, I don't understand. And you say, well, I don't need to understand why I don't want to do it or why I want to avoid it or whatever. I just know I do, but I know it's good for me. And I hope one day, if I consistently practice it, because the problem in the past has been maybe I've inconsistently tried it for a little while and then given up on it. And so now what I'm trying to do is consistently do it once a day. And that's to approach a stranger in an appropriate area, and say, and just make some small talk, even if it's a few, that was what I had in my I said, okay, remember when we go into this Trader Joe's, Doesn't matter if it's someone working there or a customer. When there's an opportunity, you're going to talk to a stranger and face that fear. And so let's keep an eye out for opportunities, because sometimes what we do is we say, oh, I didn't see an opportunity. So we're going to try to stay focused. And great news, it's like 10:30 or whatever. Yeah, 10:45 in the morning. Then we'll be done. We'll have faced our fear already today. And I know this is different for me and it sounds strange. And it doesn't come from a place of total optimism or whatever. It just comes from a place of like, I've seen this work and I know I need to do it, or I'd like to do it because I would like to change. Just a little bit, become a little bit more comfortable with it, or do it until, maybe it becomes automatic. I don't know. And so I had that all in my mind. Now I went to go to another place in the store, and then I walked past the new section and I saw someone, and it was a woman with a baby, and she was doing that same dance I did with these clusters, picking it up, putting it back, didn't look like totally consumed with a frowny face like I was. And I actually laughed out loud. I said, I totally just did that with these clusters and decided to buy them. It's just too strange an idea. I have to taste them. And she said, yeah, holy cow, it sounds so wild. I guess I got to get it too. And that was it. And then I said, wow, you really, little Scoots faced his fear today. So now some people might say that's pish posh. It's not a victory. And I guess I'd say it's not a victory either. It's just like a esteemable act. That's how I get my self-esteem now, or try to face a little fear and say, wow, I actually did it. So did that. Okay, what else we got here? We got eggs. Always need those. Maybe I'll make some chaffles. Mini sweet peppers. Those are good. You can grill them or chop them up and use them in salad. Or maybe I'll even chop up a few of those. And then a pound of Brussels sprouts. That's what I have with pizza on Fridays. A bag of cruciferous crunch that I can eat myself. I can roast it, or Koa loves it. Champs-Élysées salad. That one goes bad fast, but that's a good base for a salad for me, with a little bit of cruciferous crunch, maybe some of those chopped carrots, maybe a couple of those cucumbers, maybe some of those chopped peppers. Then another one, the algorithm and the Fearless Flyer's been on me about the chimichurri sauce. And I've always liked chimichurri sauce. I think I made it once or twice myself. But I said, well, maybe I'll have that with a little steak. That might be nice. I do have some steak I could have this week. And I said, well, we could put the chimichurri on there. Okay, next one is tzatziki. That's right, tzatziki. Now, this is another one. Now, this is part of our meal that is, I don't even remember. So we're going to have pita, onion. So we'll slice up some onion. Maybe we'll slightly pickle it with a lemon to take some of the edge off. Some of those chopped cucumbers, and then we'll make a meatball. I have a couple different ground in the freezer, and you can make it with whatever spices you have. I have something that's a little bit, I don't know which one. I made another spice mix, but I can't think of what it was. But it has kind of some of the flavors that would go good with tzatziki. But you could also make it like a curry style. Those go good, like if you have some sort of curry seasonings. And that'll be a meal. And then, on the side, could have those chickpeas, or it could have the chickpeas mixed in there. Then I got some cherries. I found that ripe cherries are delicious. So looking forward to those. 2 pounds of cherries. I said, maybe I'll make some sort of cherry chart. I said, maybe I'll just enjoy the cherries on their own. And then the limes. And then then onions for the tzatziki. And then again, we could have it with chicken and chickpeas mixed together. And then Brazil Nut Body Wash. This was a hit when I brought it home last time. This is hyped. It's got a pink bottle, purplish pink. And everything I've brought home from this has been a hit with my daughter. Originally, they had some sort of Brazil Nut body scrub, and she liked that. I haven't bought it again. Then Brazil Nut body butter. And then I said, well, they got this body wash, and I brought it home, and she was like, can you believe how good that smells? And I said, first time I got it in my eyes, I didn't like it. But then I found if I don't wash my face with it, that I'm like, wait a second, this stuff is really good. It's a little bit smaller of a bottle for the price, but that just might be me. And that's everything that we got this trip. Thanks for coming with me. So maybe what we'll do is, I don't know, will we cook together or will we just review together next time? I don't know, but it's been a while since we've gone together and talked food and shopped. And so I'm glad to have you along with me. And it's been so good catching up. I've missed you. And I miss shopping with you. So it's good to be back together. Thanks. And once you rest and get some rest, and then we'll be back at some point in the future to talk about some of this stuff. Good night.